Hello, welcome to week 11 of 40-week series for the parents of toddlers through the second year of their cochlear implant who have received their cochlear implant at a very early age, before the age of 2 years. If you wish to download the whole resource from our website, the link is given below to click. Please subscribe to Cochlear India YouTube channel and press the icon of bell. Then you will get the notification of the next episode. Write your comments and questions and I will answer those. So let's get into the objectives and goals for this week. To start with auditory goals as usual. The auditory goals for this week for your child are a longer auditory memory, to expand auditory memory from words to sentences. Remember earlier we were doing the auditory memory of two nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, but now we are moving to two commands or two instructions. That means two sentences connected to each other and the vocabulary used in should be known to the child. In the receptive language course, your child should understand plurals and also possessives and pronouns. We have been working on plurals earlier, but today we are talking about pronouns for your child. The child should understand a few pronouns such as I, my, mine, you, yours, not third party pronouns, first and second only. Also, the child should be able to understand possessives like my, your, papa's, mummy's, didi's, apostrophe s. So how can you combine these goals, auditory memory goals and receptive language goals? I can think of a simple sentence, what you can tell your child. Suppose you say, take off your shoes and put them out in the veranda, put them out in the passage. So what you are doing, you are giving two action commands for the child to follow, two actions. You're using prepositions, you're using other words also, verbs also, and pronouns also. So the child is understanding and following the command. Another sentence I can think of is, find Papa's watch and give it to me. Papa's, so you're using apostrophe s, you're using possessive, and so you're using two sentences. And give it to me, not to Papa. Because if he doesn't listen, the child will think Papa's watch, so Papa, the watch has to be given to Papa. But when you say find Papa's watch and give it to me, and the child does give it to you, that means the child has understood the meaning of pronoun me. Who does it stand for? In expressive language, we expect your child should use plural and also use phrases. Plurals is like you say, how many cookies do you want? And your child says two. Two what? Two cookies. Two cookies? You want two cookies. And the child is not using sentence, you look at the mother. How many cookies do you want? The mother says, I want 3 cookies. You look back at the child. She wants 3 cookies. How many cookies do you want? And the child has to say, I want 2 cookies. So these are carryover phrases. I want, give me, I don't want, I like, I don't like. The child should be able to use these carryover phrases in the daily routine activities when the child is talking to you. Coming to speech goals, the speech goal for this week is curve. So you can have many activities of curve. Suppose you say, let's have some fruit. Now this time don't take banana and apple. That's already done. So you want to have kiwi or you want to have chico. Shall I cut kiwi for you or I shall cut chico for you? Now the child has to say back the name of the fruit using curve. The same way, you can even have some other activities like you can have transport. Last week's theme was transport. This week's theme is also transport, continuing. So you talk about the transport to your child. Child may not have experience with every transport, but exposure helps. So what will you say? You will play the game saying that, okay, I say car, you think of another transport name. The child says cycle. I say truck, the child says milk van. You can even show your child a chart of transport where he can look at the pictures and say the word or the name of the transport and use the sound curve. Another activity I can think of is snacks. You know, we generally have snack time with the children because there's a big gap between the lunch and the dinner, and children are hungry in the evening. So we give them something small to eat. So you can say, this is snacks time. We are going to have some snacks. I have choco chips, I have kurkure, I have cookies, I have kurmure, I have cookies, or I have even, I can have Coke. Coke is not in snacks, so I don't want Coke, but we'll have some other snacks. So what do you want? Suppose the child says kurkure. You want kurkure, but they're not crisp. Okay, you can try, but I want something crisp. I want to try something different. So you are talking about, in normal routine, you're talking about the words which have sound throughout the day, all 5 days. By the end of the week, the child starts using curve in some of the words, which are repeated again and again. The book for this week is also taken as Cars and Trucks. So this is the book. This is again based on the speech curve, and we started last week car transport. So you can just share a book with the child and talk about it. And what can you see? There are cars, there is truck, there is something looks like helicopter, but it doesn't have wheels. It's actually a car, plane. So I'm talking about car, plane. I'm talking about truck, and I'm talking about car. Again, let's see what we can do on the next page here also. You can see big car, small car, you can see truck. Can you see here there is a cab truck. There's a sports car. So many things you can show. This one is a truck. So you can share the book, talk about it, and whichever picture the child wants to talk about, the child will point out at the picture and you can talk about that. There are a lot of pictures in this of the transport, and it can keep the child quite engaged. Tips. So what tips we can think of? The first tip I can think of is that when you are talking to the child, use polite language. Your child is old enough to speak in sentences now, to understand 2-3 sentences at a time, remember 2-3 sentences, and the child should be using lot of polite language. We also call it social language. That is, what vocabulary? Sorry, please, may I, can I, pardon me, not me. All these are vocabulary words which make us feel polite, help us in developing conversation with other people. Suppose you ask your child, how many cookies do you want? And the child says, give me cookies. So you want the child to say, please give me cookies. Now, if you say, please give me cookies, and the child repeats it, it will be just imitation. The child will not understand what it means and will not use it spontaneously, automatically in the future. So what will you say? You forgot the magic word. So if the child doesn't understand, look at the mother. What is the magic word? The mother says, please. Very soon the children learn that whenever you say magic word, the magic word means please. So it's a reminding strategy that the child has to use please. Anytime he requests anything, anytime he wants anything, it should start with please or may I. Another tip is ask open-ended questions. Don't ask the questions where the child has to answer in yes or no. For example, you ask me, do you want a cup of coffee? What will I say? I want a cup of coffee. No, I don't want a cup of coffee. No, I will either say yes or no. And that's quite meaningful. So if you ask your child, do you want some cookies? Or do you want milk? And the child says no. It's not wrong. You can't tell him no. You say, I want milk. I don't want milk. You can't say that. That's not natural and meaningful. Therefore, start asking more questions where the child has to form sentences and talk in sentences. For example, when the child has come back from outside play in the garden, ask the child, tell me about the garden. Or when the child comes back from the clinic, you say, today you learned some story, no? Tell me about that story. Tell me the whole story. Yesterday you went to a birthday party. Tell Papa about the birthday party. So this way you will be encouraging your child to think of language spontaneously, use that language. What other tip we can give you? Lego. Let's start playing Lego. There are many types of Legos available in the market according to the age of the child, according to their motor development of their hands also. So there are some Legos with small parts, some with big blocks, different ones. So according to your child's age, pick up the Lego, and it helps in imaginative play and cognitive play. Don't tell the child to make something. Tell the child to make anything the child likes to make. You will notice that the child makes something, you can ask, what have you made? The reply can be, it's a building, it's a tower. Oh, let's make a parking place. Okay, this is an exit gate. This is entry gate. So many components, so many parts, so much vocabulary you can develop. Also, a lot of prepositions. Put this block on the side. Put this block on the top of the red block. Also, lot of instructions and auditory memory of 2 items also can be included in that. Use a lot of prepositions, and another tip is increase the auditory memory span. If your child can remember 5 words in a sentence, move to 7 words, move to 10 words. If your child can understand 2 sentences at a time, move to 3 sentences. Expand it. For example, you tell your child, go to the kitchen and get a chiku and kiwi. I'll cut some fruit for you. Then he can do, next time you can say, go to the kitchen, get 2 chikus and 1 kiwi and put in a plate and bring. Next time you can say, you want me to cut chiku? Wash the chiku, put it in a plate and bring along with a peeler and a knife. So you are going on increasing the wording where the child has to remember what he or she has heard and follow the action accordingly. The more important point at this stage is no more acoustic highlights, no more parentis, and no more LTL words, sounds. Your child should be talking naturally and normally and in sentences, short sentences. So you have to stop using sing-song voice and singing and learning to listen sounds with every toy or every action. The child should understand the vocabulary, use the vocabulary, speak in proper sentences in a normal way we speak. So the normal intonation should be given so that normal intonation develops. Yeah, I agree that if your child has missed certain part of the vocabulary which is new to the child, you need to acoustically highlight. What I mean is, suppose the child doesn't say Papa's watch and the child says Papa watch. Then you will have to highlight S. Then you say Papa's watch. But only once, and the second time you will say normally, yes, that's Papa's watch. Now every time you are not saying Papa's watch. So therefore, the child will develop normal language in expressive language. Write your questions in comments and I will help you, and I will see you next week. Thank you.